John and I are on our way to our doctor's appointment. It is our first doctor's appointment since our failed round of IVF. So we're going to see our doctor today to talk about what options we have. I think we both kind of decided already that we want to go ahead and try another round from the beginning, but we do need to talk to him about if that's an option for us, especially because insurance covered our first round of IVF and that's it. So this is going to be out of pocket for us.
Yeah, and after doing some research online, especially with this clinic, they have some programs where they'll reimburse you financially, and if it doesn't work in 6 rounds, then you get 80 to 90% of your money back. But you have to do, it's like flip-flop, right? You do one cycle where you get the eggs, and then the next cycle you'll use some of the frozen eggs. And I think for us, the last cycle we got only a couple eggs, and some of them got to be frozen. So that's what we're going to talk to them today, is to see if we should use those frozen or try and produce more eggs. And I think we're both on the same page of trying to produce more eggs, since we have a limited reserve, and while you're young, still try and produce as much eggs as possible, freeze the rest, and we could always use those in the future.
Right. So we will check back in after we talk to our doctor and let you know what he has to say. We had our appointment at 9:15. We weren't brought back until 10:15. We saw the doctor for about 30 minutes, maybe.
Probably like 20.
And now we're waiting to talk to the financial advisor. It is 10:58. So we just left the doctor's office a little bit ago. Stopped to get something to eat because we're both starving at this point, as it is noon.
Yeah, let me say that's my number one pet peeve about doctor's offices is the constant waiting. When you come to my office, you go to any dentist or orthodontist, for the most part, they're usually on time. The doctor's office is never on time. Our appointment was at 9:15. We didn't get seen. We didn't even get seated till 10:15, and we didn't even see the doctor till like 10:30, 10:40. This is ridiculous.
I try not to get frustrated with it because I understand. I work in the ER, so again, it's like sickest kid gets seen first. But I did train in offices, so I kind of get why doctors are always behind. Like, they schedule every appointment for like a 15-minute slot, regardless of what they're there for. And then a lot of times when you go see the doctor, they ask you like, oh, what's your chief complaint? And you say like, okay, my kid has a fever. But then when you show up, you also want to know like, oh, by the way, my kid has like 2 teeth in, is that normal? Or like, there's a bunch of other questions that end up coming up, and your doctor's trying to be respectful to the patients that are in the room and answer those questions, but at the same time it like puts them far behind on everyone. And then you're also scheduled at like 9:15, but then like they have to get your like blood pressure and all that stuff, so by the time you get in the room it's later. Anyway, so I try to be understanding of that stuff, but today was rough, like really hard. I've never waited that long to be seen before.
But yeah, moral of the story is he came in and told us everything that we pretty much already knew. We had the game plan going in of, let's try and get another fresh cycle to get more eggs, and he was in agreement with that. His only thing was he didn't want to burden us financially, knowing that we don't have insurance anymore, no coverage. So the nice thing is he gave us some discount, but it's still, you know, right where we thought. It was pretty crazy. Between that and the medications, we're looking at $22,000, $23,000 for 1 month, 1 cycle.
Yeah, it's that much money because I have to be on the maximum dose of medications because of my condition. And I know John had mentioned before we went in that they had put on their website that there were some options for like trying multiple cycles and like getting your money back. But apparently I'm not a candidate because of how low my hormone levels are. Like you have to have a certain level, I think you said 2. And my anti-Müllerian hormone is at 0.8. So definitely don't make the cut for that. So they are supposed to email me a calendar later today and are sending the medications we need to 2 different pharmacies to kind of see what's going to give us a better price. I know some people use IVFmeds.com to get their meds from and it's cheaper, but my doctor did say that it's overseas and that it's not FDA regulated. Being a doctor myself, I don't know if I'm comfortable using meds that aren't regulated. Like I feel a little uncomfortable with
If
that.
we're gonna do this, we might as well just do it right.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's gonna be expensive, but we want kids, and I think that's our only option. There's a weird glare on my face.
People say kids are expensive, but this is crazy just to even get started. But
Yeah.
hopefully it'll be worth it. I think that's one of the hardest things for me is that constant, like, are we doing what we're supposed to be doing? Are we going against God's will or Mother Nature or whatever you believe? Are we doing this all for nothing? And I guess that's part of having faith, is just knowing that it'll all be worth it. And in the end, no matter what happens, there's a rhyme and reason to it.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep going. So I guess I'll let you know when I get my box of meds and my calendar and see where this next round takes us.
All right, well, that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for hanging out with us, and until next time.